What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. In this installment of the How Good Is Your Overwatch League Team series, we'll be discussing the Los Angeles Valiant. If you're new to this series and you don't know how it works, basically what I do is analyze the talent on a specific Overwatch League team in order to judge how good I think they truly are. Doing this will help me predict where I think said team will finish in the Overwatch League Season 2 standings. As usual, before I talk about the players, I like to go over who the head coach is. The head coach of the LA Valiant is Coach Moon. Moon took over as coach during Stage 2 of the 2018 season. The team had a 20-10 record over that 30-game span, which isn't too shabby if you ask me. The Valiant also managed to make the Stage 3 playoffs, and they ended up winning the Stage 4 playoffs after winning 9 of their 10 games during that stage. Coach Moon is well respected by his players, and he clearly has a good relationship with all of them. He helped groom this team into one of the best teams in the league in Season 1, and I expect to see him do more of the same in this upcoming season as well. Now let's move on to the player roster. At main tank we have Fate. Fate is considered by most to be a top tier main tank, and it's for good reason. He's one of the most consistent players at his position in the entire league. It really doesn't matter if he's playing Winston, Reinhardt, Orisa, or even Wrecking Ball, because we all know he's going to play well regardless of what hero he plays. His playstyle is also something worth noting. Fate has a patient playstyle where he waits for the other team to make a mistake, then he immediately capitalizes on it. He can also perform very well when he plays aggressively too. Fate is widely regarded as one of the most important leaders on this team. He's an excellent communicator and shot caller, and it's worth noting that his English has gotten quite good over the years. In my opinion, Fate is one of the best players on this team. Also on main tank is the former Seoul Dynasty player Kuki. Kuki got a fair amount of playtime for the Seoul Dynasty last season, but oftentimes failed to impress. I can't put all of the blame on Kuki, however, since his team was just a mess last year. His coaches and teammates didn't make things any easier for him. Like with Fate, Kuki can speak English pretty well. I doubt we'll see much of him on stage though, since Fate is just so much better than him. Unless something were to happen to Fate, Kuki will most likely be riding the bench this year. Moving on to off-tank, the Valiant only have one player at this position, and that player would be Space. As soon as he became old enough to play in the Overwatch League, Space helped turn the Valiant into instant title contenders. We all know and love Space for his incredible diva plays, but he can also play a mean Zarya and Roadhog. In my opinion, Space is one of the best players at his position. Not only is he a high skill player, but like with his main tank partner Fate, Space is a very strong communicator. He typically keeps track of enemy ultimates during each game. It's crazy to think that he's only 18 and that there's still plenty of time for him to become even better than he already is. You can definitely make the case that Space is the best player on the LA Valiant. Up next, on main support, we have Custa. He's primarily known for his Mercy, Ana, and Lucio, but he can pretty much play any healer at a fairly high level. Custa is one of the biggest leaders on this team alongside Fate. He leads his team both inside and outside of the game. Custa also follows the trend of being an insanely good communicator. He usually shot calls alongside Fate during all of the Valiant's matches. Trading for Custa during Season 1 was one of the best decisions the Valiant ever made in my opinion. He's clearly a much better fit on this team than Unko, who's the person the Valiant actually traded away in order to acquire Custa. The flex support on the LA Valiant is Izayaki, and he's one of the unknowns on this team. I say that because he didn't play once on stage during Season 1. The only time we've ever seen him play with the rest of the team was during a show match against the San Francisco Shock. He hasn't played enough for me to judge whether he's good or not yet. For those of you who are wondering where he came from, the last team that Izayaki played for was for Foxes during Overwatch Contenders Korea Season 1. Izayaki has shown promise in the past when playing his signature heroes Ana and Zenyatta. The Valiant have regarded Izayaki very highly, and they seem to have faith in his ability to play at a high level as well. It's unclear if he's going to be a difference maker for this team, so Izayaki is a player worth paying close attention to. And last, but certainly not least, at DPS we have 4 players. First up is Agilities. In my opinion, he's the best DPS player on this team. Agilities is a projectile specialist who's commonly referred to as one of the gods of Genji. He also has an insanely good Pharah, and he's shown skill on both Junkrat and Hanzo. Agilities is just a solid flex DPS player who can also play Roadhog, Zarya, and Brigitte if he needs to. Agilities has come a long way since stage 1 of last season. He has improved so much, and every Valiant fan should very much look forward to seeing what he can do for this team in Season 2. Joining Agilities on the flex DPS role is KSF. Like with Izayaki, it's hard to say if KSF will be an effective player on this team. He only played a few games in Season 1 and he didn't do much to impress. The hero that KSF seems to be best at is Hanzo. He plays a lot of Widow and Genji as well. KSF's coaches and teammates have said that they believe in him and that he apparently brings a lot to the table. He's supposed to be a really good player during scrims, but has yet to show this high level of play on stage. KSF has much to prove this year if he wants to get a lot of playtime. Moving on to hitscan DPS, we have the former Seoul Dynasty Tracer Specialist Bunny. The Valiant acquired Bunny from the Dynasty during Overwatch League Season 1, and he got most of his playtime during Stage 3 when Tracer was one of the most important heroes in the meta. While Bunny is a capable Tracer player, there are concerns about his flexibility. He didn't do all that well on some of the other DPS characters last year, and his Zarya could use some work as well. Just by watching his streams, it's very clear that Bunny has been working hard to improve his hero pool. He's even shown some results when playing Ashe and McCree. Bunny very well could end up getting a lot of playtime for the team this year, but like with KSF, he'll have to prove himself if he wants that to happen. And lastly, we have Kariv, and he's kind of in a weird spot. It's clear that he's going to be playing DPS this season, but he also did the same thing last year during Stage 2, then he went back to flex support. If Izayaki ends up underperforming, who's to say Kariv doesn't go back to playing support? You can't rule out that possibility if you ask me, so I'm not going to call him a DPS or support player. I think it would be better just to call him a flex player in general since he plays two different positions. But anyway, Kariv is a high skill player. He was one of the best Zenyatas in the league from a statistical standpoint, and he can play DPS pretty well too. I'd say that most people would agree that his best DPS hero is Widowmaker, which he played a lot of while in South Korea. He's shown off a pretty good McCree, Hanzo, Zarya, and Roadhog too. The Valiant went 4-6 during the time Kariv spent on DPS last year, but I think the team could have more success with him at this position this time around, since the Valiant have no issues going on within the organization, and the team is just better than they were the last time he played DPS. Kariv has the potential to become a pretty good DPS player. If he works hard enough and everything goes according to plan with Izayaki, then he should do just fine. And that is what the LA Valiant are looking like coming into Overwatch League Season 2. The team looks pretty strong overall, but the DPS position is kind of concerning. Soon going to the Paris Eternal will without a doubt hurt this team. Bunny, KSF, and Kariv have some big shoes to fill, and it's difficult to predict whether or not they'll succeed in this tough task. I like everything else about the team though, really. Agilities is inconsistent at times, but he's dangerous when he does show up. Custa and Izayaki have the potential to be a solid support duo, and then of course there's the tank line, which is without a doubt one of the best in the entire Overwatch League. Fate and Space are both very good at what they do. Unfortunately for these two players, they may have to carry the team quite a bit if the DPS players can't step up. While there are reasons to be worried about the Valiant, I still think they're a solid team. With that being said, I predict the LA Valiant will finish anywhere from 10th to 6th place in the overall standings of Overwatch League Season 2. This team could be pretty dangerous if everything works out the way they hope it will. If the tank line have good pieces to work with, then I expect this team to surpass people's expectations. And with that being said, that pretty much wraps everything up here. Make sure to let me know what you think of the 2019 Los Angeles Valiant down in the comment section. If you enjoyed today's content, then make sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing so you can stay up to date with all of my Overwatch League discussion videos. Thank you all so much for watching, and until the next one, this is ATP, signing out. Peace.